are the target. You are authorized to fire at will.
Hey, thanks for stopping by Minnesota Black Robe Regiment. I am TC. I'm the host of the show, and it's not going to be a super long video, but it is going to be pretty deep. I'm sick and tired of hearing about Royce White and how he's this wonderfully articulate, super strong, traditional grassroots, rocks and cows patriot here in Minnesota, and how he is going to take the world by storm. Recently, Royce was on with leftist David Pakman on the David Pakman show, and David and Royce got into it back and forth. The link to the back and forth between them will be in the description of this video, and this is a fair use notice, by the way. And I was told if I watched this, Royce just absolutely destroyed David. Just wiped the floor with David Pakman. And quite frankly, I think that anybody with half of a brain cell who's coming from a traditionally conservative, maybe a paleo-libertarian, paleo-conservative position, could step in and wipe the floor with David Pakman in a philosophical endeavor. But that's not what happened. And the worst of it came down to when David and Royce began to discuss campaign finance and federal election commission issues. And it wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty. I don't side with leftists ever, but David handed Royce his lunch on a silver platter from a strip club, if you will. And we're gonna watch that interaction, and we're gonna do some commentary. So here we go.
Let me ask about a couple of things.
Do you think that's okay? Do you think it's okay to sexualize children at drag stripper shows?
I don't think the children are being sexualized if they go to a drag show. No, I just don't think that that's the sexualization.
You don't think children are being? Would it be okay for me as a grown adult male to take underage kids to a regular strip club?
I don't think they're allowed. No.
Just wanted to be noted here that strip club issue was brought up by Mr. No Riz Royce first. And he was trying to do it as an own. And I think that David is completely off on what happens at drag strip shows. So they're both morons.
So why are they allowed to do it in but why aren't they allowed?
Royce.
Why aren't they allowed? Is it because of the alcohol or because of the sexualization?
I don't know the laws around strip clubs. I couldn't tell you.
Oh,
but Royce,
okay.
if
maybe you should learn them though, because you're talking about drag shows. You have an opinion about the drag shows, and you say that's completely fine.
Royce, you brought
but you have an opinion about.
I'm gonna have to mute you, Royce. I'm gonna have to mute you.
Okay.
You're bringing up topics and then telling me I brought them up. This isn't a way to be interviewed as a serious
I didn't say that. I didn't say you brought it up. I said you had an opinion about it.
You told me I brought up Believe All Women and that I brought up drag shows.
No, I didn't.
Those issues
no, I did not say that. They'll be able to watch it back and see for themselves how it went.
I
didn't say you brought it up. I brought it up. I'm going to bring up every topic I want to bring up.
Oh, so
you white liberals are not going to tell you. Yeah, I brought up the feminist movement.
We're going to listen to that again, folks.
They will themselves how it went. I didn't say you brought it up. I brought it up. I'm going to bring up every topic I want to bring up.
Oh, so
you white liberals are not going to tell you. Yeah, I brought up.
You white liberals are not going to tell me. Look, leftists, first of all, are incredibly racist. No arguments there. Like, there's no disputing that leftists are racist. They are. They're some of the most guilty when it comes to identitarian politics. But No Riz Royce, he's an identitarian as well. He is wrapped up in identitarian politics. And his go-to is, you white liberals. Well, first of all, Royce, you wouldn't know the difference between a liberal, a libertarian, and a normal, like, oh, wait, libertarians and classical liberals are normal people. Royce, you wouldn't have the first idea how to address somebody if it wasn't for talking points that were drummed into your head. You don't know what a liberal is. You just heard the term from somebody, and so you use it because it gets you points. Pakman is not a liberal. He's a leftist.
The feminist movement, and I brought up the drag stripper shows as an example.
Can we continue the interview?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
You brought up strip clubs. It was recently revealed you spent campaign donations at a strip club. Is that true?
That's not true.
Okay. It's been...
He just denies that it's true. Now, you would hope that he would elaborate. But as we pay attention to this, he doesn't elaborate. His defense is terrible, if you can call it a defense.
Sourced very well by the Daily Beast. Where'd they get this information?
The Daily Beast, first of all, the Daily Beast is not a good source. That's number one.
The Daily Beast is not a good source, but it's not just the Daily Beast that's reporting this. No Riz Royce.
One, but number two, it wasn't well sourced even in that article at all. It was a reference to a campaign filing with the FEC that was not done properly.
Who didn't do the filing properly?
Whoever was in charge of the filing.
And who was that?
Well, there were a number of people, I would assume, who were in charge of getting that accounting done, but it wasn't.
You don't know who the people are doing your accounting?
Oh yeah, I know exactly. Yeah, I know who they are. Do you want me to list?
This is where it really falls apart for No Riz Royce. He could be very forthright. He could be honest here. He could say, "Look, we screwed up. Here are the people who did the filings." He doesn't do that. He goes into protectionism. He refuses to answer questions directly, and he makes up terrible excuses. He is not an intelligent man. He knows talking points. And 98% of what he says is nothing, and excuse the terminology because I don't want to steal it away from its valid use on a normal basis. But 98% of what Royce has coming out of his mouth beyond talking points are just word salad. It's just bleh. It's just bleh. And you're going to see that here.
List the entire list of people who worked on it?
Yeah.
So you have time for me to go through a list of people who worked on the filing, but you don't have time to talk about the details of the political issues you want to discuss?
Well, how many people is it?
Give me a break. Who do you people think you're fooling?
I don't think we're fooling anybody.
Who do you people think you're fooling?
So the people who prepared
I answered your question.
The reports...
I answered the question.
I'm trying to understand it, Royce. The people who prepared the reports...
The answer is no. The answer to your question is no.
I haven't even asked the question yet.
You did. You asked, did I spend campaign finance money on strippers?
And you responded, and now I want to ask a follow-up.
Okay.
Your claim is there were filings which said you spent campaign funds at a strip.
And watch him very carefully. He's uncomfortable. He's not making eye contact per se. He's disengaging. Watching his facial features, he's disengaging from this because he's uncomfortable under the questioning. He knows there's something wrong. He knows they've got him on something. He knows that. And he's got to go into protection mode because he's got to do everything he can to save his reputation from the failed campaign he had against Ilhan Omar, which is tragic. But he also screwed up, and he doesn't want to deal with it. And Pakman has him over a cliff. He's hanging him over a cliff. So props to Pakman, because I wish true grassroots conservatives would have done the same thing. But they're running interference for him just like they do the fake conservative Trump.
Club, but they were incorrect.
No, they didn't say that I spent the funds at a strip club. Or no, let's say they didn't say that I spent the funds on strippers.
There we go. Notice the clarification. It doesn't say that I spent the funds on strippers. So we have a tacit admittance that money was spent at a strip club from his campaign funds. This is what he's doing. He just admitted that he spent the money in a strip club. His campaign funds, money that was given to him by donors for his campaign, he admitted were spent at a strip club, but not on strippers. Not on strippers. Nope, not on strippers.
But it was spent at a strip club.
Well, strip club they sell food at the strip club, don't they?
So you've spent the money on food at a strip club. Is that more accurate?
You seem to be very unfamiliar with strippers and strip clubs and drag strip shows. So I'll inform you, maybe
Please.
you aren't informed, that they do have food at strip clubs.
So what you're saying is the money was
No, wait,
spent
did
at
you
a
know that
strip
though?
club.
Did you know that?
I know strip clubs have restaurants.
Have you ever been to a strip club?
One time.
Did you like the food?
No.
You got to go to better strip clubs then.
Okay. But
I just want I'm going to do something here. I've been off camera pretty much this whole time. To my Republican friends, to my conservative rocks and cows friends, who are all about ethics and integrity, who talk about Christianity, who talk about how much they love God and how we have to have honorable and righteous candidates. The guy you're defending, Mr. No Riz Royce White, is mocking a man for not knowing more about strip clubs and for not going to the good ones. I didn't say it. He did. This paragon of conservative values that you guys nominated to be the next Senate candidate to take on Amy Klobuchar, you are responsible for this. So all of my conservative Christian friends and rocks and cows ideology in Minnesota, you're just like all the people who defend all the crap from Donald Trump, who make excuses for it, but would turn around and attack the Democrats for their same lapse of ethics and judgment. You're terrible. This is the guy you're defending. He's mocking a man for not going to better strip clubs. And he's flat out admitting that he took campaign funds, money given to him by Republicans, to beat Ilhan Omar, and he took it to strip clubs in Florida. That's the biggest one in question right now, in Florida. And spent campaign money in Florida on food in a strip club. One of the better ones, of course. Right? One of the better ones that David Pakman needs to go to if he wants to be a real man like Royce White. That's the implication. Royce White's a knockoff Andrew Tate. That's it. He's a low-rent, no-riz knockoff Andrew Tate. That's it. He's an arrogant, smug piece of trash. And he could come on my show and I'll say it to his face. I'm no David Pakman. I don't have a big platform like David Pakman does. I don't have a big platform like all the other people. I'm not Alpha News and I'm not everybody else. But I will say it to Royce White's face on my show or in person. I will look him in the eye and tell him he's a low-rent, no-riz, knock-off, cheap Andrew Tate, like a B-movie version of Andrew Tate, who doesn't know anything but talking points and word salad. And this is what Rocks and Cows Minnesota thinks is going to save the Republican Party for them. Well, let's get back at it.
So what you're saying is you did spend the money at strip clubs, but on food. Is that right?
Well, I'm not saying that I spent the money. I'm saying that there was a filing on my FEC report that shouldn't have been there and potentially should have been reimbursed by somebody who may have been at the strip club, but that there is food at the strip club. So to say it was spent on strippers is not based on factual evidence.
I didn't say that.
Especially not from the day you did.
I said strip club, not strippers.
No, well, okay. Well,
Which
that's
is the
what's
same thing you're
implied
saying,
by
right?
the Daily Beast.
It's the same thing you're saying, right? So we agree.
But that's what's been implied by the Daily
Money
Beast
was
and
spent
other people
at
as well.
a strip club by someone else in your campaign on
That's
food.
what's been implied by the Daily Beast and other mainstream media outlets as well.
And what's the truth?
I just told you.
Someone else bought food at a strip club with campaign funds.
No, I told you about the FEC filing. You seem to have a lot of time for this one.
Well, it's because you're so obviously lying.
Oh, Oh, okay. I'm so obvious.
And get ready. Unhinged. This man is unhinged. No Riz Royce comes unhinged. How dare a white man challenge? How dare a white man challenge him? He's going to do it again.
Lying?
Yeah, just tell me the truth. So, did a staffer spend money on food at a strip club?
You white liberals have a lot of nerve.
That's identity politics.
You white liberals,
hold on a second.
hate when black men.
He says it like 5 times. Mr. Identitarian politics are bad is Mr. Identitarian politics. Tell me you're a low IQ, low info shill. Tell me that you're a low IQ, low info grifter without telling me you're a low IQ, low info shill and grifter. Tell me that, because that's what Royce White just did. He's playing identitarian politics. Brought to you by Mega.
Vote Republican. You hate when black men say that they like being American citizens. You hate when black men say that we want to have a border. You hate when black men say stop sending our money to the Ukraine. And you go to the WWE politics to try and defend your latent racism. That's what it is.
Hold on a second, Royce. Aren't you against identity politics?
Absolutely.
So what are you talking about white liberals for, especially when
what do you
I'm
mean?
A Hispanic Jewish immigrant from Argentina?
Yeah, right, but you have a white liberal ideology. That's what's funny about it.
Oh, so Royce gets called out. Oh, Roycey boy, No Riz Royce gets called out on his identitarian politics, and he quickly has to shift because he got caught. This man is dumber than a box of rocks. Dumber than a box of rocks. He got busted by an immigrant, Hispanic, Jewish man in America. Got busted. And his response is, "Oh, well, you have liberal white politics."
Oh, that's something different. All right, Royce, listen, when you start hurling stuff around like that, we do have to end the interview.
You have a post-World War II democratic liberal order, white liberal ideology.
All right. The man who denounces identity politics.
We're going to go back, and you could just hear it's talking points. He has no idea what he's even talking about here. He cannot define these things. If I brought him on the show right now, he wouldn't be able to identify anything he just said. He's just been told, here are the things you need to say. And he says them very well, but he doesn't understand them.
For, especially when
what do you
I'm
mean?
A Hispanic Jewish immigrant from Argentina.
Yeah, right, but you have a white liberal ideology.
Is it just me, or does David Pakman look like a knockoff Kirk Cameron, by the way?
That's what's funny about it.
Oh, that's something different. All right, Royce, listen, when you start hurling stuff around like that, we do have to end the interview.
You have a post-World War II democratic liberal order, white liberal ideology.
All right. The man who denounces identity politics is playing identity politics.
No, I'm not.
Royce, I really appreciate you being on today.
Your latent racism is obvious. Make sure you post the interview. Don't be a coward. And
feel free
to have me back on anytime so we can talk in detail where you don't cut me off. I like this kind of stuff. You people don't.
I can assure you.
You
people. What's this you people, Royce? No Riz. What's this you people? You people? Who's you people? Look, I'm a paleo-libertarian, paleo-conservative. I've earned my street cred when it comes to these positions. Royce is a grifter. So he is welcome to come on my show and defend this entire fiasco. He won't. He won't, because he won't be able to use identitarian politics on me. Royce is the very epitome of the thing he says he hates.
We'll hope that every black Republican or black America First that shows up is going to kowtow and sort of, curl up and run into the corner when you cut people off. That doesn't bother me.
Royce, I can assure you,
women have
Royce, you're on a new topic now. I can assure you, we will
radical
post the
feminists
interview,
in this country have certainly gotten way beyond the pale in terms of their ideology.
Royce,
100,000%. 100%.
You have my word.
You think it's okay to take little kids to drag stripper shows, but you don't think it's okay for grown men to get the chicken wings from strip clubs.
Royce,
you don't think that that's weird?
It sounds like a campaign finance violation. It's not my opinion. But Royce, we got to end the interview.
You can get food for donors. You can get food for donors.
Look, folks, that was a crap show. David Pakman actually, props to him. I don't like leftists. I don't like leftist identitarian politics. And I don't like it in this situation because No Riz Royce was engaging in it far more than the leftist was. It's terrible. It's just absolutely terrible. And this, ladies and gentlemen, Royce White is who Rocks and Cows, Minnesota, picked. This is the garbage. This is the filth. This is the trash. This is the low IQ, low info, low morality. And look, I got problems. We all do. Everybody, if we were going to admit the truth about who we are as individuals, we all got problems. We all have our proclivities, peccadillos. But Royce can't admit it. And he got caught. And he got called out. And what he's used to in his grift is everybody defending him, coming to his aid. So it's on people who should be on his side in identitarian politics because they're all identitarians. It's on them to call him out when the people who should be calling him out are busy defending him. This is what's wrong with the two-party duopoly, or with the uniparty duopoly. This is why people have to stop looking to the Democrats and stop looking to the Republicans and start looking to the other parties out there, like the Libertarian Party, to find people with principle at local election levels and support them. If you look at what just transpired here, and you look at the three-way race between Amy Klobuchar, No Riz Royce, Amy I Kill Kids Klobuchar, No Riz Royce, and United States Army Global War on Terror veteran Rebecca Whiting, and you come away from this thinking that No Riz Royce is the better candidate, you're what's wrong with the American political system. Rebecca Whiting would wipe the floor with I Kill Kids Klobuchar and No Riz Royce. But you're all too busy trying to save the Republican Party, because if we save the Republican Party and we use people like Trump and Royce, then we could save the country. He's a grifter, folks, and he proved it when he lost to Ilhan Omar and went down to Florida with campaign funds and bought wings at a strip club, but then mocks somebody for not going to better strip clubs. That's why I do this show, folks. I've been calling people out on both sides of the aisle for a very long time, and it's only going to get worse for you guys. Until next time, fight for your freedom, or fight for your liberty as yours. Fight for your freedom, it belongs to you. And sic semper tyrannis. And by the way, No Riz, you're welcome to reach out to me and come on my show at any time. I'm not Alpha News. I'm not everybody else. I'm not going to play softball with you. And I am not white liberal. I've earned my paleo-conservative, paleo-libertarian creds. I'd wipe the floor with you.
We are going for liftoff in T-30. Stand by for further instructions, Minnesota Black Robe Regiment. Secondary guidance systems engaged. Minnesota Black Robe Regiment, it will be on my mark. authorized to fire at will.